thanks for joining in again today. And today we are talking about the continued saga of the antifreeze coolant leak in my N54 powered BMW 335i. Now, if you've been watching this series, you've seen me change a lot of different parts, and it usually results in just a continuation of leaks and leaks and leaks. And I'm gonna help you guys solve some of your problems because hopefully you can learn through some of my experiences as to what it takes to get to the bottom of some of these problems. I hate to say it, guys, the car is still leaking. That's right, the saga continues. And I think I've actually narrowed it down to a particular area. I've done a little more digging, and it's very tight engine compartment in these N54s, but I think I have found possible source to the leak. Now, what I'm gonna do today's video is actually walk you guys through some of the failure modes I've experienced, some of the parts I've changed, what I experienced prior to that, what I experienced after that, and I'm also gonna tell you what I think the problem area is and how I'm going to address it. So definitely wanna stick around. Let's talk about it now. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with exoticcarplayplace. And all right, let's do a quick walk around. Ah, the sweet aroma of antifreeze. Smells like maple syrup. Never want to get that near your lips, though. That stuff is toxic. But let's get talking about this. So what we have here is a pipe. Well, you ask, what kind of pipe is this? Well, this here is the flange, and this end actually went to the side of the engine over here. And you'll notice on this end, this here is a rubber hose that would adapt to here. Now, what I did was I didn't replace the pipe. Obviously, this is a brand new pipe, but I did use the hose. And I cut, there's a retainer, a steel retainer, very hardened steel. I had to grind it off down there, and it's really just down at the bottom. So you have to get at it from underneath the car. So I ground that off. I took this clamp off and I used the rubber hose, which is only about 4 inches. I used that, so I swapped that out. That's what I thought was leaking, because that is in fact one of the common points right here. There's this point right here, it can leak point. So I thought that was the issue, and that was not the way it turns out. So anyway, I've got an extra spare aluminum pipe in case I ever need that gasket for that O-ring, or this pipe, maybe something happens to it. I've got an extra part. Now, another thing I did was, you've got the coolant reservoir here. Of course, a common failure is the seam around this coolant reservoir. Sometimes this connection here leaks because these are those quick snap together connections. What was BMW thinking? I know it's all about fast assembly, so they punch those fittings on. That's really why they do that. But anyway, leak point. Leak point. So sometimes you get a fine seam here that leaks antifreeze. This can be an issue. Sometimes these lids can dissipate and release pressure. As well, there's a hose at the bottom of this. Sometimes they can leak there too. They also have one of these bogus type of connections. So this is a common thing. I did change this. That's not the issue there. As I said, I changed that part there that ran from the engine block down to the actual thermostat. I replaced the rubber part. Shouldn't be a problem. Other things on this side you can't see from up here. The turbos are both on this side. This is the N54, so there's 2 turbos. And each one of the turbos has a cooling line that antifreeze runs through to help it cool and keep it in good shape. Well, those are mostly hard lines. Now, there are possible O-rings or gaskets at the end of those that could leak, but it didn't look like they were leaking on my car. So that is a possible failure point, but not likely. Another very, very common fail point is walking under here. So I did a full inspection. You take this garbage off here. So that really takes, you've got a couple of Torx screws right there. You take those out, this comes off. If you have an air box, you'll have to remove that. And of course, this then, once these Torx screws are out, this then take this out. But this here, this pipe that comes from, this is called the vent line. This vent line actually runs from here, and it goes underneath, and it goes all the way over here, and it ties in over here. Now, this is another point, and this nipple is known to crack. This fitting can let go. There's any number of leak points here. Now, I've already replaced this upper hose as well. This is the upper rad hose. It also has one of these bogus type quick punch connectors. So that's been replaced. So this is a new hose. But as you can see, there's already residual antifreeze over here. But that takes us to our next discussion. So that's a leak point. Other leak points. You've got a gasket that runs here. It's sort of a weird looking shaped O-ring. Now you actually have to take these lines. There's a couple of lines. You have to drop them. This splits apart and there's an O-ring. This is your heat exchanger, oil filter housing. There's a couple of O-rings on here that are common failures. This whole assembly bolts up to the engine, so there's another O-ring that runs where this thing squeezes up against the engine. That's more of the oil ring. There's another one here that runs across these two surfaces. You have to pull this apart to change it. That's another common failure point. If you have antifreeze or some kind of mixing, sometimes you might have gasket failure in this area. But again, I've already changed that. Now, way underneath where you can't see, I have in fact changed the water pump, thermostat. Now the water pump can often fail because it's that hardened plastic, and where the screws bolt the wet end all together, it's commonly known for them to split with a hairline crack, and then they can let go and antifreeze emits out of there. Sometimes it's not a leak, sometimes the water pump just fails and you get a failure code, which if you guys have been following the channel, you've noticed that I went through that and I experienced the whole thing for you. So sometimes the water pump goes, usually they go anywhere from 80,000 to 120,000 kilometers, maybe 50, 60,000 miles is a pretty typical zone where almost everybody experiences a water pump failure. While you're doing it, you also have to do that cheap and dirty thermostat. You might as well do them together and do that little U-shaped hose in between, because that hose gets really, really warm, gets thin and soft, and honestly, do all three of those together. So I've done that. I've also checked, changed some hose clamps down there, made sure all the connections were good. Those are very, very common leak points. And as a matter of fact, I thought that's where my antifreeze kept coming from, because I had pooling antifreeze largely in this area. And if you've been watching the videos, you've noticed that I've had lots of issues down here where you see in the morning a big pool of antifreeze kind of in this area, like right there. And again, it's easy to misconstrue it and assume it's the water pump thermostat, even though mine went already, and that is a common failure point. It looks like the leaks were coming from above. Checking all these things, I've changed the water pump, thermostat, upper rad hose, expansion tank, that other little soft hose that adapts from the aluminum pipe from the engine to the thermostat. I've changed that. Lots of hose clamps. I have changed a lot of parts to try to eliminate a coolant leak. But that takes me to this discussion, and I don't think it's coming from any of those areas, obviously, because we still have a leak. But after doing some searching, I found some other areas that are very, very high probabilities. So now as I start looking down in here, it's quite difficult to see down in here, but these engines do not sit vertical. They actually sit slightly like this. Where the head and the engine block mate, there's a gasket, a very thin gasket. And if you run too much boost or poorly maintained system, or just wear and tear and age and deterioration, that gasket can wear out, and then you can have seepage from that gasket. Now, lots of things can happen there. Sometimes you have mixing. So in other words, you could have oil in the antifreeze and you get that real milky look. Sometimes you have the other way. You have the oil level rising because antifreeze is now going into the oil. And then of course your oil level looks to be rising, but in actuality, you're actually just adding level with antifreeze. So you're mixing across gasket space. Another possibility is the outer edge could be leaking, and you could just be getting an external leak of antifreeze, and that is something that is a very high possibility in this case. So what I've found, and I'm going to tell you right now, what I've seen here now is actually antifreeze that running along that seam. So as I said, the engine sort of tilted like this. So the antifreeze that I'm actually seeing down here, dripping off the water pump and thermostat and pooling up down here, seems to be dripping along that edge of the gasket. Now, is it the gasket? It could be the head gasket, which means that head's got to come off and it's a bit of an engine job. Or more likely, it's this other hose. Now, there's a hose down here that you can't see right now. Very difficult, it's quite dark in there. But there's a hose that comes off of the head. It's right at this corner right here, but it's a few inches down. And there's an adapter. It's a plug-in adapter. It's a flange. It's got two 10mm bolts. And it's adapted to a rubber hose then that turns 90s and runs down and goes to the top of your water pump. That is a hose that is commonly known to fail up here at this end because of the excess heat, and it's made of plastic like everything else in this engine compartment. What ends up happening is that fitting splits and starts pissing antifreeze. Now, I'm feeling that that is likely the culprit, and I've ordered the part for that. And so likely that's going to be the next approach, We're going to walk through the installation of that probably next week. So you're definitely going to want to hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to see that. But that's likely the issue. And again, it's the hose adapter that's converted to that fitting, that flange at 90s. And it's just right down here, just underneath these two cooling lines right here. Very difficult to see, but it comes off in 90s and goes down and drops down to the water pump. So that is going to be the next possible thing to change. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot more of the antifreeze issues around here possibly. I mean, there's a couple other hoses. There's a couple lower hoses down in there. I've thought about the rad, but I don't think it's the radiator itself. It doesn't seem to be the radiator. I don't see a lot of coolant coming off of the radiator itself. The leaks seem to be more along the front edge of the motor and dropping down and then pooling there. And of course, what I noticed is a lot more splatter in these areas. I'm seeing a lot more antifreeze that's sort of splatter and drying up in this area. So that's one thing that's leading me to that. It wasn't as obvious before, but I'm now starting to see a little more splatter in some of these hoses. Now I'm gonna have to take all this junk apart to have a bit of a closer look, but that's something that is a very distinct possibility. I'm hoping it's that adapter, and I hope it's not a head gasket, but we'll see on the next video, so you're definitely gonna wanna stick around for that. Really appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notifications bell. It'll let you know when the next video's out, and I'm sure you guys want to hear more about how we ended up resolving these issues with the 335i that I'm driving. As well, don't forget to drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys if you have some ideas so I don't have to spend a whole lot of money where I may not need to. Hope to see you guys soon. Catch you then. Bye-bye.